why are cigars so appealing? Why are people attracted to stogies?
What's going on?
Let
me get your number. What's going on, everybody? Today's episode, why are people attracted to cigars? What is it about cigars that people like and enjoy? Stay tuned because it's the Burndown. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Burndown. I am your co-host, Eric, a.k.a. Brother Cigar, a.k.a. Slick Rick, your mother's favorite DJ, and DJ EJ. And sometimes, now Justin calls me Scarface. This guy next to me is Justin, a.k.a. Dapper the Cigar, a.k.a. the Diamond Missile 9. What's up, Just?
What's up?
How you doing, brother, man?
Love it. Love it.
Do we have the same blue bracelet on? Are we Blues Brothers?
I think so, bro.
Blues Bros. Burndown Bros and Blues Bros.
Blues Brothers.
Yeah, so I was talking to Justin, and he's like, hey, what are we going to do today? And I said, listen, people ask me a lot of the times, like, why do you like cigars? And I'm like, oh, that's a good question.
You know what? Now we can just send them to this episode.
Yeah, now we can just send you guys to this episode.
You know what? I'm going to save my breath. Just watch this video.
Just watch it, okay, and we'll tell you. But before we can tell you, we have to create an episode, obviously. Do you see? I don't see red on that one.
I don't see red on that one.
I heard it beep.
No, fuck it. We'll just cut it. We'll just cut it out.
Fuck it. We'll do it live.
So, yeah, a lot of questions we get asked, why do you enjoy cigars so much? What is it about cigars that draws you to them, that appeals you? And
why do people always celebrate with cigars?
Yeah, that's another thing.
Why does it signify success? Why
does
it signify winning in class and all these different adjectives?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. I think that it signifies success because back in the day, only the upper class and the upper echelon of people, more specifically of men, would smoke cigars. They would have cigars and brandy, right? It was only the higher class people that would smoke cigars that could afford to smoke cigars, right? Everybody else, if they would smoke, it'd be like cigarettes and they'd roll their own, right? But cigars was a very elegant thing and only a luxury that was only enjoyed by the upper class.
Luxurious item.
Yes.
You weren't picking it up off the street. You weren't getting it at the gas station. You had to go somewhere in a nice establishment. You had to have some kind of dough, and you had to purchase this.
I mean, they weren't even selling cigars at gas stations back when it originated, right? Yeah. Or I wouldn't say when it originated, right? Because cigars go back a long time.
Christopher Columbus.
But we can even Google it, like, why do cigars,
but like,
signify
talking about
success,
personal experience. It was really what drew me to cigars was those first couple of things I was saying. I liked it. I liked how it looked when you smoked a cigar. I liked what it signified, whether you're successful, you're a businessman. It had this certain elegance and class to it. And, it was always depicted in movies with, like, guys in suits, guys in business, winning, real top echelon people. And I was like, you know what? I want to be one of those guys one day. Maybe this is a start to getting there.
I mean, it's certainly what drew me in is I would always envision a classy gentleman smoking a cigar.
Yeah.
Right? So I always wanted to be like that. And I actually just Googled it, saying that cigars are traditionally viewed as prohibitively expensive imported items that only the elites of society had access to, which is exactly what we said. The average Joe Schmo was not smoking a cigar. They couldn't afford it. It wasn't available to them. But the elites had access to it. All the upper echelon of society would go into a lounge or go into the study and retreat to their study with a cigar and brandy. Mm-hmm. Like, that was what they did. So that's what attracted me to it. That's what attracted you to it. And I think that's what attracts a lot of other people. And that's why nowadays people celebrate with cigars, because it's a luxury. Mm-hmm. It's a symbol of success.
It's, and now in today's world, cigars are just a great equalizer. Like we always say.
Like we always do it this time.
Tell them, son. Tell them.
Sorry.
Get them.
Anytime you say like we always say, I always think of that.
Like
we always do it this time. Something like that.
Kanye.
Now throw your hands up in the sky.
Yeah. Shout out to Kanye and T-Pain. Good life. But, cigars are such a great equalizer, especially in today's world, is because, it doesn't matter if you're a doctor. It doesn't matter if you're a construction worker. It doesn't matter if you're a lawyer. It doesn't matter if you work at a fast food joint. If you like cigars and you're in a lounge, you're there for that exact reason. No other reason. You're there to enjoy the ambiance of the other cigar smokers who are passionate about cigars. And you have conversations, good conversations, no matter your age, creed, skin color, occupation, where you lean this way, you lean that way. That all stuff washes away for the most part when you're in a cigar lounge or you're enjoying cigars with other people. And that's one reason why we love it. And that's what the premise of this podcast is we want to bring people together over cigars. But I've talked to many, many people, and especially younger people who are, I guess we're considered the younger generation of cigar smokers in their 30s, late 20s. And people would say, I just liked, what drew me to cigars was people they seemed more knowledgeable. They seemed to have a life experience. So I would want to just go into a lounge and just talk to these people just so I can learn from them. And I would be the youngest guy in there, and I'd be talking to guys who are 60, 70, 50 years old who are successful, and I would just learn little nuggets of life. Mm-hmm. And it's a great way to look at it. So if you're want to get into cigars, or if you don't know how to get into cigars, just go into a lounge and just sit down and just start talking. Because by the time you leave that cigar lounge, or wherever you are smoking a cigar, you'll become a better person. You'll probably learn a thing or two.
Yeah, I mean, it's the camaraderie of the community, right?
The camaraderie of the community.
You like that?
Yeah.
That just rolled off the tongue.
Nice.
That's nice.
The camaraderie of the community.
It's
a community of camaraderie.
That's what it is, though. Is cigars, no matter who you are, what you believe in, where you're from, cigars, everybody can have a friendly conversation. They're always welcoming in the cigar lounge. I mean, on top of the symbol of success, it's the camaraderie of the community. You like that for alliteration?
Damn, say that one more time.
Not only is it the symbol of success, but it's the camaraderie of the community.
You know how I am in acronyms. I do like acronyms. S&S, C&C.
Dude, I mean...
SSCC.
That's how I can describe it. Is cigars are a symbol of success, but also it's about the camaraderie of the community. Everybody... When you're smoking a cigar, you feel so much more relaxed. I mean, that's another reason why I enjoy it so much is when I have a cigar in my hand, I've done meetings in here, right, with a cigar in my hand, talking to customers, and I feel so much more relaxed. Mm-hmm. I feel in tune with my thoughts. I feel like I'm working. It's just grooving, right?
Just at peace.
I'm just in the zone, right?
At peace. You're in the zone. You're just you're so focused.
I've done them in a cigar lounge. That's why I go to a cigar lounge and work sometimes. I just, put the headphones in or whatever, and I have my cigar. I just feel relaxed. I feel in the zone.
Yeah.
I've also had meetings where I'm not smoking a cigar. I'm just in the office. And you kind of feel a little, sometimes you can feel a little tense. You feel a little bit off, but having the cigar in my hand and puffing on a cigar, it feels...
How amazing would it be if you can hold meetings in a boardroom or a conference room and everyone's just smoking a cigar?
It's great.
How much...
I love it. I fucking love it.
Once we get to that point, where we're orchestrating deals, we're meeting with people, and we have to finalize a location, you can best believe we will be discussing
100%
whatever we're talking about with cigars.
We're going to have in our studio, when we have a brick and mortar studio, I mean, we have a brick and mortar studio, it's right here. But when we have a shop, like our own studio, built up specifically.
Our place of business.
Right? We're going to have a conference room that's just going to be like a lounge setting, big couches and chairs all around the table.
Yeah.
We just sit and have a conversation. That's where business deals are done. Mm-hmm. Right? And on top of that, cigars and golf. Another section for business deals, right? Where business deals go on the golf course. And what are you doing on the golf course? You're smoking stogies, right? Then you take, after the golf, you take it back to the lounge, you smoke another stogie.
What my favorite thing is when you're with someone who's just trying or just getting into cigars, and you're the person that gives them a cigar, and they're like, wow, yeah, I feel so much I feel relaxed. This is awesome. You're there's no like there's a good. It's something to say when you're bringing someone into a new world and they enjoy it just as much as you do. Like, no matter how many cigars we've smoked, you get excited every single time you take it out of the humidor, you cut it, you light it. That pre-light ceremony says a lot, and it's always exciting. There's never been a time I can proudly say 100% of the times I smoke cigars, there was never a time I'm like, okay, I'm gonna smoke a cigar. Let me cut it open. Let me light it.
Yeah,
up,
you're right.
Like,
you're never
like it's not like waking up and doing emails like
you never dread it. You're never like, fuck, I gotta go smoke a cigar.
It's like a new
Never.
experience.
Never.
Every time you smoke a cigar, it's like a new experience, and it is a new experience every single time. What's so good on that phone, Justin?
I'm looking up different things. Like the first thing I looked
I
up
want to
was
make sure you're not working.
no. I looked up the what cigars symbolize, right? Like why do they symbolize success? And it came to that article of it used to be only readily accessible to people of power and people of money. And then there was a couple other things that popped up. It's like, so what do cigars symbolize in literature? I go, well, that's interesting. So I clicked it. And the thing it says, according to Freud, a cigar is a phallic symbol and is representative of masculinity and raw energy.
Hell yeah.
Like, wow, that's...
I've never heard that quote
I never heard that. And then it said, what is the symbolism of cigars? And the cigar symbolized affluence, power, and masculinity.
Yeah.
It was only after World War II and the emancipation that smoking became socially acceptable for women. So that's interesting, too.
Interesting.
So only after World War II was it like socially acceptable for women to smoke.
Smoke cigars or just smoke in general?
Well, it just says, I'm assuming it's cigars because this is a cigar page,
Okay.
but so that I just started clicking other
But
things.
you know what?
Like,
I never actually, to go back what I was saying, I never actually really thought about it until I just started telling you. But like, when you pull out a cigar out of your humidor and you're getting ready to smoke a cigar, it's like a first date all over again every single time.
Yeah.
Like you're never not excited to smoke a cigar. Like there's something about getting with your boys or just getting ready by yourself to be like, all right, we about to light up and about to have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's a unique experience that you don't find really with a lot of other things where I guess if like you play sports and stuff like that, you can get, but even then you might be exhausted. Like if you're tired with a cigar, you don't have to do anything. You just sit there and smoke.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So there's not many experiences, at least I think, that you get excited every single time, and it's like a new experience where you're lighting up a cigar and you're like, damn, I wonder what this is going to bring for me today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's wild.
There's another thing that popped up here that I think is very interesting, and we talk about it too. It says, why are cigars so special? And I'm actually going to click this link because it says 10 things every cigar smoker should know. And I want to go through some of them and see if what they say. But this one particularly says they are made of one thing and one thing only: tobacco. Pure, unadulterated tobacco. Not a single leaf is chemically treated or artificially altered for taste. Everything from flavor to color is achieved through natural means, and that's part of the cigar's inherent beauty.
I think I printed that article. I think we talked about that.
That's a beautiful thing, and it makes me think of some of the other luxuries in life, whether it's the ingestible. Like you can't really ingesting cigars, but you get what I'm saying. Like when it comes to food, when it comes to cigars, when it comes to like drink, there's only two things I can think of that are like 100%. Like a cigar is 100% tobacco. Mm-hmm. Wine is 100% grapes, right? Beer is not 100%. Beer has a bunch of things put together, right? If you look at some food, like you make a recipe, you got a lot of things put together. But there's certain things that are just 100% unadulterated, raw, pure.
Fruit, right? Fruits.
Right? Fruits are like that too. But I'm just thinking like there's a lot of other things that you kind of mix all this shit, like cigarettes. You just mix all this fucking shit together. Mm-hmm. It's not pure, right? Cigars are pure. It is just 100% tobacco, right? A steak. Just give me a fucking steak.
100% USDA.
Just beef. Just pure. Mm-hmm. In its purest form.
Yeah.
That's what I think is beautiful about it.
It is.
It's so simple yet so elegant that makes it beautiful.
And I think what attracts people to it, like you said, is just the image and just the elegance of it. Because, like we say so many times, when you think about cigarettes, cigarettes, there's nothing elegant about. Maybe back in the day, there was an elegance about smoking cigarettes, right?
But even so, back in the day, like when the original cigarettes came out,
it was marketed that way.
Well, when people were like rolling their own, like back in the Midwest, right, in the Old West, there was no filter cigarettes. People were just using rolling paper and putting tobacco in. They were smoking tobacco.
Yeah.
It was basically a cigarello. It was a tiny little fucking cigarello. Yeah. But now you have cigarettes with filters and chemicals and all this other shit. Now those like smoking tobacco, or they would put tobacco in a pipe and they would smoke it. They're just smoking tobacco. There was no added shit, no added chemicals, none of that. Now all of the cigarettes have all these added chemicals, and the tobacco smoking is cigars. Mm-hmm. And still pipe of as well.
What are like your what are this is from Cigar Aficionado, right?
Yeah.
That article's right over there. It's literally right there.
That's funny.
What do you think? What do you think the three things are that cigar smokers enjoy and love, like the top three? And what do you think are the three things that attract people to cigars who aren't cigar smokers yet?
So I think that one thing in particular is what we already said, the camaraderie.
Yeah.
Right? Bringing people together, having great conversations with all of your cigar smoking buddies, having a place that you can go to just to relax and be with your friends. I think that the level of relaxation that it gives you, right? At the end of a stressful day, you can sit down for an hour, gives you peace, gives you a time to be at one with your own thoughts. It gives you a time to reflect on the past, visualize the future. I've said it a million times. The mental health that it brings you, I think is a important aspect of why people like cigars. Third thing of why people enjoy cigars.
So mental health.
Think mental health, your relational health, right? It helps you build relationships with friends and family.
What's the third thing? Your personal opinion.
I mean, some people do it for the flavors. I mean, there's thousands and thousands of cigars, all with different flavors. The pairing that they go with whether it be bourbon or rum or wine or beer or scotch or tequila, compare well with coffee. I mean, there's all these different pairings, so you can smoke them for the flavor, which some people do. I think more importantly for me is the camaraderie. It's the two aspects. Is if I'm by myself, it gives me time to slow down the world, not think about all the stress. I've said it before. It turns cloudy thoughts into clouds of smoke. That's kind of what cigars do for me on a personal level when I'm smoking alone. But when I'm with people, it's the conversations and the friendliness and the camaraderie and just being with all of my closest buddies and laughing and just having a wonderful conversation over a cigar. Keeps everybody relaxed. It keeps everybody just loose and goosey. You know what I'm saying?
For me, it's what if I'm smoking a cigar with people, it's 110% the conversation. Like I was just at Matador the other day, and I was with guys who were 20, 30 years older than me. And we were having so many laughs, so many good conversations, even learning a thing or two. And it's like you're in your own little bubble for an hour.
Yes.
With the people who you're smoking cigar with. It's like, and like I may not get that same feeling if we're just hanging out. Like if we just had him here and not smoking a cigar, it's not that same conversation. It's not that same.
Yeah, it kind of it levels out the playing field when it comes to age. Like it shortens the age gap.
It makes you it makes you more of a person. Like you can be a CFO of $1 million company, and then you could be smoking a cigar with a kid who works at McDonald's. But if you're in a cigar lounge and you're sitting next to each other, there's nothing else that matters, and you guys can just talk about anything and everything at an equal level. Granted, you have the runs to the letters, right? 9 out of 10 times you'll have good conversation. There'll always be the uppity or the assholes.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of it. Like you can't go to a sports place and a guy who's been a Giants fan for 50 years and a kid who's been a Giants fan for 5 years. There's not that like equal of.
No, that's a good point. Is where you said, like, let's say you have a guy who's been a Giants fan for 50 years. Okay, and then you have a kid who's been a Giants fan for 5 years, right?
He's a young kid.
He's a young kid, and they're like, "Oh man, you remember that? You remember what's his name? Remember Jim Kelly? Oh, you were too young for Jim Kelly. You don't remember? Oh, you remember him? Oh, you weren't even born yet." Go into a cigar lounge. It doesn't even matter.
The conversation is like,
you're
hey,
smoking a cigar, I'm smoking a cigar. I was just rattling off names, but
fucking who's a fucking old Giants quarterback? Phil Collins.
Oh, like
Kerry Collins,
like Strahan or something like
Kerry,
that, right?
Not Phil Collins, Kerry Collins, number 5.
Talk about like Strahan, or talk about some of the
yeah, but it's
like
more,
the helmet catch, right? Like if you're talking about a kid now, like us, if we were talking to a Giants fan with a Tyreek helmet catch, if the kid's like 15, like
David Tyree,
you don't even know with Tyreek helmet catch, like you don't know, right? But in a cigar lounge, it's not. The conversations aren't like that. The conversations are more
about
level.
like the experience. Like, hey, let me tell you when this happened. This was the best Super Bowl moment in the
history of the Giants.
History of the Giants. Let me tell you why. And it's more of just a open forum, a Q&A type of back and forth conversation. Granted, you can have that conversation without cigars, but I feel like with cigars, it enhances it, and it makes it frequent more often, if that makes sense.
No, I get what you're saying.
What I mean?
I get what you're saying.
So it's so hard to talk about, or so hard to think about like other things that do that. Like even if you're a workout enthusiast, right? Like, if you're a guy if you're a Golden Gym fucking winner, bodybuilder winner, and you're sitting down with a kid who's new to working out, it might not be that same level of respect. The older guy might be looking down at me and like, man, you don't even know.
I've been doing this since you were born, young blood.
Since you were born. And as opposed to maybe being in the gym, and it's a little more back and forth and a little more equal, and saying, hey, let me tell you why you should be doing this. I just think cigars give people that. It kind of erases your background. It erases that ego.
It levels the playing field.
Levels your playing field. And that's the beautiful thing about cigars.
So I have another thing here that's on the topic of why cigars make you feel relaxed and why I enjoy taking business calls with a cigar.
Yeah.
This one says, why do cigars make you calm? It says, breathing in a measured capacity is critical to relaxation and stress reduction. Because you draw on a cigar gradually, your breathing is regulated and tends to be slower. Cigar lovers casually sit back while they smoke and decompress, as opposed to engaging in fast-paced physical activities. So that's the science behind it, is when you're smoking a cigar, you're breathing, you're pulling in the smoke slow, you're blowing the smoke out slow, you're kind of just really slowly
and then you do
enjoying.
That. You do that a lot in yoga. Yoga is a lot about breathing.
Yeah, who says it?
And that's why Steve Harvey says cigars are yoga. Not just because of the mental state of it, but you're actually doing something physically. You're controlling your breath, you're controlling your breathing as you do in yoga and as you do in cigars. You can't do that with cigarettes. In cigarettes, you're trying to suck that thing down, wolf that thing down. And that's why cigars are yoga.
Love it, dude. I love it, man.
I
just want to end it there.
You want to end it there?
I just want to end it there, man. We're 25 minutes in. It's a quick little episode.
Cut it.
Just cut it right there. Thank you for watching this episode, guys. Yeah. Thank you for listening. Please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Follow us whatever platform you're listening on. Check out our website, burndownpodcast.com. Become a member. It's $5 a month to get exclusive discounts. You get entered to monthly members only giveaways. You get 15% off to Our Cigar, the Blueprint. Got a box right here as well, 2 boxes. But we love you guys. We just hope you enjoy these episodes. This was a quick one. And with that being said,
we'll see you on the next one.
We'll see you on the next one. Eric, what's the send-off?
Cheers, chin chin, salud.